Hello. Hey. Hi, everyone. This is Mitchell Mander here. Welcome to my live stream slash video, depending on when you actually come across this. We're going to be talking about Pokemon Horizons episode 37 in today's live discussion. And yeah, if you're someone that's discovering this channel for the first time, it'd be pretty cool if you sub the channel, like the video, and all that good stuff. Hold on, I gotta take a little bit of a drink of water here. Sorry, I just got done eating some food here, so just need that water. Anyways, yeah, if you are new, what we typically do here is I usually give it a couple minutes for some people to show up, and once they do, we start talking about the episode. If I don't see anybody by like the 5-minute mark, I get started. Spider Kid Studios, I'm here, and I'm here with a bias today. Number 1 Roy Stan in the building. I'm here to defend the episode. Gotcha. Just a heads up, I pretty much only got an hour today to go over to do the discussion, so this one will be pretty, we'll at least go an hour, but once we get to that point, I gotta wrap it up, so just a heads up. I'll admit I was tired when watching this episode, but I did enjoy it, and I'll get into why here shortly. Not to mention development. No worries, that's fine, gotcha. Yeah, I have somewhere I need to be, so that's why we're doing this a whole hour earlier than I normally do. It was either do it now or like later in the day for me, so I chose to do it now. A little sleepy, but oh well. But yeah. Yo, sup, I might be sick. Oh, dang. I hope you get better. I wouldn't say I'm really sick, but my throat has been bothering me for the last day or so, but I think it's mainly the weather, since we've been going from, like, sheer cold to, like, suddenly it being a little bit warmer than it should be this year, so it's kind of messing with my body, I don't know. Something like that. But yeah, like I just mentioned, I have somewhere I need to be here in a little bit, so this stream's only going to last an hour. So just a heads up. But we still got like 55, 60 minutes still, so we good. I don't mind it being a little bit warmer, but not exactly good. Not exactly good. That's usually when you get sick, so. Winter is fun, guys. Oh well. Alright, I'll give it another minute, and then we'll start talking about the episode. I'll give a brief review. I think I'm just going to be a little bit briefer with this one. Not that I didn't like the episode, but yeah. Just the content in it. There's not a whole lot to talk about, but there are some good stuff I want to highlight. It seems like you guys really like the episode. So far, 2 votes for 10-9. Alright, well, I'm going to go ahead and get started here. I'll be talking about Pokemon Horizons episode 37 now. So, yeah, this episode, mainly the Rising Volt Tacklers, they got a job since they need some money to go move some rocks at this dig site or whatever. But there's some local Pokemon that are causing some issues. But in the meantime, Roy is actually doing some training, which I thought was actually pretty cool. He is training for Rayquaza. And obviously he's got a little ways to go, but at least he's training for it, so that's good. But anyways, originally the kids weren't going to go, but Liko and Roy convinced Freed to be taken along with him. But I think it's kind of funny because he's like, yeah, but if you're going with me, don't go off on your own. And what does Roy proceed to do? Mainly thanks to Fuecoco, but yeah. Eventually they make it there. The crazy thing is they actually said that they see the crocodile and then the Croc rocks and all their Pokemon. They're like, next time they show up, yeah, we're exterminating them. I'm like, okay. Okay, we're just killing Pokemon, eh? I see. But, anyways, eventually, Roy and Fuecoco, they end up slipping into the sand and they end up finding the crocodile and Croc rock family, which actually was kind of nice. And, they actually have a little, rhyme there going on with their singing or whatever. And Roy and Fuecoco actually end up responding to it, and initially they're a little bit hostile towards them, but they end up having a good old time, which was kind of cool. Which ends up building their trust with them, which I thought was pretty neat. Liko and Freed eventually catch up, but they start drilling again outside, and it angers the crocodile and the Croc rock, and they go to attack. And Roy tries to stop them, and it's interesting because I believe they were using I think they said around in the translation, but it might have been Disarming Voice. But anyways, in the midst of this, Fuecoco ends up learning Disarming Voice. They end up destroying the rock, which ends up, instead of moving the rock, they destroyed it, which means they pretty much caused their payment for the job to be null and void. And yeah, so yeah, that's pretty much the episode. I will say, going into this one, I was not really looking forward to this one. But I have to say, after watching this episode, I actually take back what I said. I think this is the best episode of I guess of the 4 episodes we've seen, upcoming episodes we've seen so far. I mean, the next 2 episodes I think might be probably better for development's sake, but this was a good episode for Roy, honestly. I thought I'd be bored with this one, but I enjoyed it quite a bit. 8 out of 10 for me, actually. Surprisingly. I mean, at first I was just like, yeah, this one's gonna be kind of, it's an it exists. But yeah, I actually kind of enjoyed this one. We got some development for Fuecoco with it learning a new move. It has more moves than Sprigatito now, which Liko, we're gonna need to do something about that. Maybe next week you can get a new move or something. Which that was good. Good development for Roy. It's shown that he's training for Rayquaza, which is cool. I like that. He's got a long way to go, but at least he's working towards something, so that is a good thing. So there's that. I do think he needs to use his burb a little bit more, because when was the last time we've seen the burb actually in action? It's been a while. That's been a little bit frustrating in that department, so hopefully he takes the burb out. But yeah, Fuecoco learning a new move, and he's got a pretty interesting moveset now. That's actually pretty cool, because he has, let me look it up. Because he knows Disarming Voice. He has Ember, Tackle, Stomping Tantrum. So, he probably just got rid of either Tackle or Ember already, I guess. I guess Ember probably went, since he knows Flamethrower. What's the point of having Ember when you have freaking Flamethrower? But anyways, he's got a pretty interesting moveset so far. So that's cool. I like that. I'm getting the feeling that Fuecoco might evolve before Sprigatito does, but Fuecoco is still pretty popular. It's kind of like, you know, the Chespin or like Rowlet of this series. Oshawott, the series. So I guess we'll see what happens, but yeah, I mean, for an episode, like, I will say, like, the whole point of going here was to actually make money, and they ultimately didn't make money. That kind of was probably a weaker aspect of the episode. But Roy focus was pretty good. Fuecoco learning a new move, great. Hopefully he uses the bird a little bit more. The bird needs more spotlight. But enjoyable episode. Better than last week's episode, in my opinion. So yeah, 8 out of 10. 7.5, 8 out of 10, something like that. I guess the next 2 episodes... I mean, I will say I'm looking forward to the next 2 episodes more than I did for this one. But if this one's a good one, and if the next 2 episodes end up being good, I think we're back. Pokemon Horizons is back. We're officially back, boys. But yeah, yeah, I enjoyed this one. Not really much else to say, honestly. So if you want to give your thoughts in the chat, go right ahead. I don't really have a huge crowd today. I don't know if Clawla's is going to be here. I know I went a little bit earlier than usual. Maybe she'll show up here in a little bit. But yeah. But yeah. Let me know in the chat what you thought of the episode. I'm actually think I gotta catch up on reading here. Obviously, I gave it a 10 out of 10. That's because I'm extremely... When it comes to Roy. I think Fuecoco will learn Alluring Voice later when it evolves. It's basically a stronger Disarming Voice, which is a new DLC fairy tech in Indigo Disc, so I believe that it will learn it later. Yeah, that's actually... yeah, that actually sounds like a good idea. Way to connect the DLC to... the series, at least in that regard. That'd be cool. Yep, that's its moveset. I like its moveset. I mean, don't really need tackle, but you know, it's got a pretty good moveset at the moment for being just a Fuecoco. But yeah, Lico's Sprigatito is gonna need to step things up. It seems like next week's episode's gonna be focusing on Hatana too, so I get that she's not like much of a battler, but come on now. We're approaching episode 40. We gotta get some more stuff in there. Diversify your moveset so it's not just freaking Leafage, aka Konoha, over and over and over again. Maybe she'll just use Konoha so much that it evolves because of it. I wouldn't be surprised in the least. I can see Fuecoco's moveset, if it fully evolves, being Torch Song. Yep. For sure. Shadow Ball, Stomping Tantrum, and Alluring Voice. That would be a pretty interesting moveset. I will say only half of that moveset is with my Drillage, or however you pronounce its name. It's fully evolved form too. I want to see the Croc fully evolved. Be cool. Even if I do like Fuecoco a lot. Do you want to know how many times Lico used Leafage? I counted. Oh god. Do tell. Even counting the episode where she spammed it repeatedly. $50 times? Oh my god. Learn something new. Yeah, that is pretty... I will say that is pretty bad. Okay. Anyways, back to the stream. Bro, Fuecoco are... I think you are hero training. Well, Spirito done nothing for 30 episodes, basically, with minor training. I know. I don't know. It's kind of getting a little bit frustrating. I like that. I mean, I do like the fact that Roy is seen here training, so in this episode, so that's cool, even if it's in the hot weather. I think that is good. It is good. Even if some of it is off screen, at least he's training, at least it's shown off here. I don't want to see it more often, but yeah. I guess I can give my thoughts on the preview for the upcoming episode, for episode 38, with Tantamus. I actually think that one seems pretty interesting. I was actually thinking it was going to be on the ship, but it seems like it's actually found right outside where the ship's at. So, that is cool. It looks like it got beat up or something. And they nurse it back to health, and they're just searching for its partner. So I'm very curious about next week's episode, because this was the Roy focus episode, but then we got the Liko focus episode, and then we got the Dot focus episode after that, and like, I think that next week's episode is going to touch on Liko and how she wants to understand how Pokemon feel, and that's when she's going to connect with the Tantamouse and try and help it find the other one. the other one. And then, of course, Tinkatuff joining Dot's team. Look forward to that. If it doesn't happen, we're rioting. That's for sure. Woo. I got any thoughts for next week's episode? Spider Kid Studios? While you do that, I'm just going to do a few things right here. Do you think Liko will catch Tantamus next week, or Chipmon, or nothing happens? It's hard to say. On one, I'm kind of 50... where I'm at right now is I'm kind of 50-50 on either Liko catching it, or it just gets reunited with its pair, and that's the end of it. Because there's a little bit of focus on... in the preview on Liko bonding with the Pokemon, so it could become attached to her. It's kind of hard to say. I'm not gonna lie. Do you think we're gonna get 2 captures in a row? I mean, they've done it before in the prior series. They did it when Ash caught Galarian Farfetch, and then the very next episode, Go caught Sobble. Which they could do. I wouldn't mind her expanding or Liko expanding her team. I was gonna say, isn't Tandemaus, or its evolved form, really strong in the games, if I remember correctly? Surprisingly. Something like that, at least. I feel like if Liko was to catch Tandemaus, Roy would have caught something this week, but who knows? That would have been something if there was 3 captures in a row, though. The one thing I will say is before Roy catches another Pokemon, he needs to use his Burb again. That is actually becoming a little... That's one issue I'm currently having with Roy. His Burb isn't doing anything. And with Atena, it's clearly not a battler, but I feel like it's going to be forced into the spotlight at some point. It's getting some focus next week, so... But I feel like at some point it's going to eventually evolve. Hopefully. Yeah, exactly. As much as I like Roy, that's my big issue. Yeah. I just feel like they need to do something about it. Do something with it. Excuse me. Because I'm actually gonna look it up right now. Because when was the last? Like, what's the last time? Like, when we've seen the little guy? Like, come on, do something. I know I had that one training episode with it where they didn't get along, but that was a while ago. In fact, I'm looking this up. Wattrell. Okay, let me look it up here. Episode 28. They teamed up in a battle. Whisperio to battle Tepin in order to get an ancient... Oh my gosh! That was the stupid episode with the ancient Pokeball being stolen. That was it? That was the last time we saw it? Oh, wait. The last time we saw it was when Diana left. Oh, gotcha. Last time we battled... Bro, that's almost 10 episodes ago. And that episode, what, came out in, like, what, November? Around? So, like, over 2 months ago? Come on. Burb, do something. Do something. Just do it. Do it. Oh, man. I guess let's hope in the episode, the 40s, it does something. Liko and Roy, only starter challenge. Exactly. Liko, only Konoha challenged. Konoha, Konoha, Konoha. Huh. Okay, before we continue, I think I forgot to mention this. I want to try and keep this mentioned. as I do the streams, just so, don't come off as rude. But obviously the music playing in the background is from a stream called Video Game Study Lounge from Game Chops. I listen to it when I study, work out, I'm at work, doing work, listening. I need something to, keep me sane while I'm working, so I listen to the Video Game Study Lounge. It's really cool. You should check it out sometime. Sometimes they have Pokemon music in there too. But we got some Zelda music playing right now currently. But yeah. So, anyways, back on the discussion now. I think at this point Roy might be stronger than Liko because we ain't seen Liko train at all, if any, unless it is with Roy. Yeah, the last time she did training was against Diana, technically. Technically, Sprigatito is the one that actually landed the hit on Arcanine. But Fuecoco was literally holding it back to allow Sprigatito to do so. So, yeah. That's some development for Fuecoco. I mean, the series started with him not even being able to use a single move. And now he's got a full moveset now. And actually pretty interesting one at that, too. Excuse me, I need another water. Anywho, I guess we'll see what happens in the next few episodes. Am I right? Yeah, after next week's episode, we should be getting some upcoming episode titles and summaries. The first full week of February, typically. Which I will be there to talk about it, like I always do. I do have some ideas for videos. I do want to make a video kind of addressing the pacing issue in Pokemon Horizons. Eventually. When I get time. And I have another one in mind, so that will be down the road a bit. Whenever I get the time to do so. Life is crazy right now. If Sprigatito evolves anytime soon, it's going to feel rushed because it is barely... I know. I will say that is kind of disappointing too, just because, we're almost 40 episodes in the Pokemon Horizons, and, we haven't gotten a single evolution for, the main cast. And, we're kind of, waiting to see when that's going to happen. And, 40 episodes in, that's kind of a decent chunk of the series at this point. We're not halfway done, but, we're getting close to the, 1/3 marked. So maybe by the time we get through the 40s, we see an evolution or a new capture or something. I mean, for Liko and Roy. Dot's likely, I'd say it's all but confirmed that she's getting Tinkatuff. And if she doesn't get Tinkatuff, I'm going to be pretty upset. I'd say it might even be as upset as I was when frickin' Lana didn't catch the Pinder, how you pronounce it, back in Sun and Moon. Although that was probably more egregious then, just because the episode was literally telling us that Lana gets Pinder, and then she didn't get it. Yeah. Anyways, not talking about that episode, because that one still makes me angry. But I was going to say, if Tinkatuff does not get captured, I'm going to be pretty upset, because I can tell you right now, that's going to make the Nidothing streams a lot more chaotic, and I'm here for it. That's for sure. I hope so, because I really feel that an evolution is necessary. Yeah, like I said, we're like 37 episodes done. We're going into episode 38 next week. I'm not expecting an evolution to happen. Not even for a Tenna. It'd be kind of a little weird if it evolved in next week's episode of all episodes. And before freaking Sprigatito. Like, what the heck? Nor do I expect one in the Dot episode, but once we're in the 40s, I guess we're going to figure out what's going to happen next. Because, I feel like we're kind of, doing some development episodes right now. My speculation right now is when we get into the 40s, we're going to be diving into Terapagos and kind of, like, learning more about it, probably going to the academy and, like, doing something there. Maybe even go to Area Zero briefly. Although I feel like that's going to be saved for later. At the current rate, I think Fuecoco might evolve before Sprigatito at the current rate, yeah. I mean, considering it's developing faster, I would assume so. I mean, I just think it's time. We're going into the 40s. Like, if we get to episode 50 and we don't have an evolution yet, or like a new capture for Roy and Liko by that point, I'm gonna start questioning things. I already have a few issues with how this series has slow pacing, but yeah, that would exacerbate. That would just make the issue more apparent. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not trying to complain. I don't want to turn the stream into me just like ranting about the series. Like, I very much enjoy Pokemon Horizons, but I will say it's pacing. They need to find some type of balance, so it doesn't feel too slow and that the characters aren't developing as fast as they should be. There needs to be like a steady pace to it, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't need to go too fast where they just develop so fast and then it doesn't feel earned, or it can't be too slow where it just feels like we're taking forever to get to the point. But yeah, I feel like the Terapagos arc is an issue because we ain't focusing on it, and be pretty much fillers. Not all the episodes, but quite a few. Not all the episodes, but quite a few at this point. You know what? You bring up a good point. The first arc was titled, or the first chapter, whatever, arc, chapter, whatever, is the Liko and Roy sets off, which that made sense to call it that, because that was them going, being introduced and going off on their adventure and kind of just learning about the heroes and stuff. And they started collecting them. It wasn't until the end of that arc that they realized that, hey, there's more heroes out there. Terapagos is seeking like a special paradise that Lucius was said to have gone off to, so that leads into the next arc, which is finding out more about Terapagos and like the other heroes and stuff in this arc. We've seen Lapras, but when it comes to Terapagos, it's kind of it's there because it's adorable, basically. I mean, I will say I was very underwhelmed with how Terapagos was handled in the Indigo Disc DLC, personally. I mean, you might have a different opinion than I do, but yeah, it exists. I had it on my team for a minute, but yeah. Not really the best handled, in my opinion. In fact, the frickin' what's it called? The one for the frickin' epilogue I felt like it got a little bit more focus and was more interesting than Terapagos, which says a lot. But I'm not here to complain about Scarlet and Violet. I could do that all day. What's up, Thomas? You're here. 7. Okay, that's fair. Fuecoco learning Disarming Voice, which is super effective against Rayquaza. Good point. That's a great point. Although if it uses it on it at this current rate, it probably won't do a whole lot. It just might make it angry and just blow everything up. So might want to wait a little bit, Fuecoco, before you try using that move on Rayquaza. I don't think he's gonna like it too much. When you think about it, if the third arc happens at episode 50, then we have 10 episodes left to pick up the pace. Well, I think what we're going to have to do in order to kind of just, bring us right back into Terrapagos, I think the next episodes after, like, these pair of episodes need to start focusing on Terrapagos and learning about its origins and kind of, like, just more information on it. Which is why I said I think we're going to need to go to the Academy and learn, maybe like do some research on it. We might even touch Area Zero for a brief second. I feel like that's more so going to be reserved for the end of the series, but I digress. I feel like that they might talk to the professor of the Academy, and he might grant them permission, but the permission can't be like right now. It'll have to be down the road sometime. I don't know. They could approach this from many different routes. I just think that we need to bring it right back to Terrapagos and kind of focus on it, because I mean that's kind of the point. But I do think that the characters do need some decent focus. Give them some more correct characterization. Like this episode did a good job of characterizing Roy and Fuecoco and their personalities. Like this episode works for them, which is why this episode, in my opinion, is a good episode. It's better than the last one, that's for sure. So it circles back to Roy training against the cardboard Rayquaza. Yep. And I like that for it. Like I said, this episode, it caters around Roy's personality and what he wants to do. It shows him he's still working towards his goal, which is a pretty high goal. But he's working towards it. I still think he needs to probably focus on some smaller term goals. And then go for that. Train for people around the world kind of thing. That'd be cool. My idea from the 2024 video. Also, we need more explorers conflict with the Rising Volt Tacklers, because a lot of the members ain't done anything in the ages, and we need to redeem some of them. Yeah, I was gonna say they didn't even participate in that big battle, did they? Yeah. I will say, like, I don't expect them to be majorly all going against the explorers all the time, but from time to time, have Molly or Orla or something contribute and be all right, I'm gonna fight this person. Liko and Roy, you head here with Terrapagos or something, and then they hold the explorers off, and then until Liko and Roy have to face off against someone. Just depends on what they decide to do with the series. I think Roy's goal should be to seek out and train with trainers who own legendary Pokemon. That could work. I said this before, and I'll say this again. If we eventually go to Hoenn, I would think it'd be pretty cool if we met Xenia, and we could possibly do a little mini arc there where they help her out, and maybe they have the regular Rayquaza, or she even has it already. Who knows? They could take that in a lot of different directions, but that, I feel like they could actually weave that into the story. She never appeared in the series, so that could be a way of introducing another character that never appeared in the anime before. Just saying. That's one option. I'm noticing that Liko and Molly have a sister bond going on. Actually, yeah, I agree with that. I think that's actually pretty nice. Molly sees Liko as a little sister kind of thing. It's cool. The Rising Volt Tacklers do feel kind of like a family at times, so that's kind of cool. You get to see more of that. But yeah, I mean, I will say, despite the fact that we're not touching Terapagos really these next 2 episodes, I am looking forward to both of them. We got the Tantanos episode, which I think it has a lot of potential to be really good, especially really good for Liko and Hatena looks like it's going to get some focus here, so I think that that's a good thing. And like I've said, Dot better catch Tinkatuft. I'm here for the chaos. I want to see chaos. I can literally just see it happening, and it's going to be hilarious. I can see Iono being like, oh my gosh, you got that Pokemon? Really? Doesn't fit you. Like, are you actually becoming more sociable now? See that? Little things like that would be kind of nice. Spridido has to learn a new move already, maybe Shadow Claw or Magical Leaf. I mean, considering it literally spams Leafage all the time, Magical Leaf would be kind of... I feel like that's necessary at this point. Give it to Sprigatito. Like, come on. Doesn't need to spam Leafage like 24/7. I hope Paldea return isn't just for a filler arc, because I want to see more Scarlet and Violet characters, even if it's for minor development. I mean, I wouldn't say that this is like filler, though, because we're here to do research on Terapagos. We're kind of here for that reason. We're also here to get money, but that's one problem with the series, and that's what we kind of like didn't Galler for a little bit. It's kind of, you know, we had episodes that like feel like filler, but they aren't filler just because the plot is still kind of moving. Last week's episode was kind of an anomaly because it felt like a legit filler episode. I get what you mean. I get what you mean, though. I feel like, well, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't call it filler if like a capture happens, for example, and like in yesterday's episode, I should say, Fuecoco learned a new move, so that's gonna be utilized in canon episodes. Well, quote unquote canon episodes. So, but I get what you mean, though. First episodic episodes in the series, yeah. And a series that is pretty much like telling like its own story and has constant flow between the episodes. It is a little weird having some of these episodes. But last week's episode was probably the first episode I'd say really felt episodic. For sure. Not that it's a bad thing necessarily, but yeah. I just think that this episode was better than last week's episode, personally. That's me. I see we have 6 people here. What's up, y'all? Just to shill really quickly.
If you could hit that like button, I'd very much appreciate it. And also vote in the poll above. Let me know how you would rate this episode. And if you want to chat, go right ahead. If not, if you just want to, you know, hang out, lurk, or whatever, you're free to do so. No pressure. Just saying. So, anyways, back to the discussion now.
Also, do you think Fuecoco might get a Fairy Terra type to help against Rayquaza, as Rayquaza has Dragon Pulse and Draco Meter at the moment? That would actually be kind of cool. I mean, I will say I do want to see Liko and Roy terrestrialize their Pokemon at some point. I mean, if they're going to get stronger, and especially since Amethio has the ability to terrestrialize his Ceruledge now, I feel like they're going to need something. They're going to need something to protect themselves. Especially against that. Because he's already stronger than they are, but like with that, it's game over for Liko and Roy. I mean, if Freed struggled to beat Amethio back in episode 25, and he had to terrestrialize his Charizard to win, it's going to be kind of a bit of a situation when Amethio surprises Freed and terrestrializes Ceruledge and beats Charizard. Because I feel like that's what's going to happen. I mean, I feel like that was shown for a reason that Freed was struggling against Amethio. And Amethio is actually catching on to how Freed battles. So if he shows that he can terrestrialize his Pokemon, Freed's going to be in trouble. Freed is absolutely going to be in trouble. So if Freed goes down, what are they going to do? You know what I mean? That's why I say give Liko and Roy terrestrialization so they can step it up and, you know, defeat him. Or defeat any of the explorers for that matter, but yeah. I think Sprigatito and F-Terra type will be grass and fire, but they will have a mini arc where they will work to change their Terra type. They could do that. Roy has at least a tiny chance. True. They should probably do that at some point. But, you know, actually, before we head out of Paldea, they could actually, you know, do this. Once we go to the next region, we get terrestrialization. Or Terra Orbs, excuse me, for Liko and Roy. Because it's Stomping Tantrum. But Sprigatito has no way of handle it with Leafage, Scratch, and Quick Attack. Yeah. Like I said, we really need Sprigatito to actually, you know, do something here. Get some focus. Learn a new move. Maybe evolve at some point. Who knows? I do think what Thomas said earlier with Sprigatito learning Magical Leaf might happen. Hold on. Dang it. Excuse me, guys. I need some more water. Sorry, something got caught in my throat there. Anyways. I do feel like Magical Leaf is going to be a thing. It spams Leafage so much, it ends up learning a new move out of it. How about that? Case solved. Sorry, I'm dying over here. That'd be perfect. Or Leaf Storm, honestly, because sometimes Leafage looks like a Leaf Storm. That is true. That's another possibility. Either or could happen. But look, if Fuecoco could learn a new move like this in today's episode, or yesterday's episode, then I think that Sprigatito could do the same. Okay, just for the people that are watching here, I do have about 10 more minutes, maybe 10 to 15 more minutes left, and then the stream has to come to an end, but I'm just going to give you a pre-warning right now. So, but until then, feel free to chat it up and, you know, hang out and stuff. Don't leave me. Not just yet, but yeah. Just a heads up. I have somewhere I need to be here shortly. Which is why the stream is happening earlier than normal. Anywho, back to the discussion for now. Sprigatito honestly just needs coverage. Roy has amazing coverage already. That is true. I agree. Roy already has a solid moveset right now for his Fuecoco. His Burb definitely needs a little bit of more attention, but that'll be down the road a little bit. What's this song, by the way? Dad's on the Beach. Nice. But yeah, so we got a little bit of time left still here, so what you guys want to chat about? Can be anything. Anything at all. I will say next week episode I'm kind of worried about because I feel like it might be a bit boring. It's gonna depend because I don't know. I feel like this next week's episode has a lot of potential, especially with Liko goal of understanding how Pokemon feel. Hatena getting some focus on the episode as well. And I said I'm like 50-50 on whether she's catching the Pokemon or not. So I feel like this next week's episode has a ton of potential, but hopefully it ends up not being boring. Whew. But I think we're all waiting for that Tinkatuff episode. That's the episode that I am like very much anticipating. Well, featuring Liko and Molly together is already a good sign. That's true. That is true. Oh, sorry. I just smacked my microphone. And I just smacked it a second time there. Sorry. But yeah. I do want to see some more Molly focus. I want to see kind of like maybe we have an episode where we go back and we meet her family or something like that. The proper Pikachu, welcome to the stream. Better than the last episode, but still not great. What do you guys think? I think it's a pretty good episode in my opinion. There are some elements that I didn't care for, but I thought it was a fine episode, personally. Mainly because it did develop Roy and Fuecoco. Not to mention he's shown training for Rayquaza in the episode, which is all a good thing, in my opinion. So I did enjoy the episode. If Dot don't catch it, biggest missed opportunity because Tinkaton is literally one of the most popular Paldean Pokemon. So Dot has to catch it. Exactly. I was going to say, again, that's literally the equivalent of Lana gets Dupe Finder, that episode back in Sun and Moon that everybody was like, oh my gosh, here's Lana's second Pokemon. She's going to do it. Proceeds not to catch this Pokemon and ends up being like a not so great episode overall. But yeah. Is the Tinkaton episode after the next one or the one after? It is the one after. So next week's episode is a Tenemos episode. And then the Tinkatuff episode. So next week will be February. I think February 2nd. Next week's episode airs. And then February 9th, the Tinkaton episode will be airing. So 13 days. I will be satisfied with the next episode of Spiridido Learns Magical Leaf. I'd like to be optimistic, but I'm not certain if something like that's going to happen. It seems like Katena is the one that's getting more of the focus here, but who knows? Any development for Liko and her Pokemon is welcome. If she captures the Tenemos, that would be a plus. But I am very much 50-50 on whether she catches it or not. That one's up in the air, but I guess we'll see what they decide to do, or what happens in 6 days. Yeah. Tenemos would be a strange capture. I mean, I don't know. I feel like it could fit her team, and she's shown caring for the lost one, so it's got a lot of potential. How would they evolve in it? How would they evolve it? Because in the games it evolves in the Pokeball. Probably Liko takes it out of the Pokeball one day while she's in the ship. Or something, and finds out that it evolved. I don't know. They could play along. Bleh. Can I speak? They could play along with that in many different ways. I highly doubt that Liko catches Tenemos because, one, it's not very popular Pokemon, and two, its evolution is boring and makes very little sense, especially in the anime. I mean, I feel like they could find a way to explain it. It'd probably be really weird and out of place. But I don't know. They could find a way to showcase it. I don't know. That's why I said I'm 50-50 on this capture. I get the feeling it ain't gonna happen. With Tinkatuff, I have a big time feeling that that's a capture. That just screams capture episode. The Tenemos one, on the other hand, it doesn't really necessarily scream that, but Liko has shown caring for the Pokemon, which could be more so for her and her development and wanting to understand Pokemon's feelings. But yeah, who knows? Guess we'll find out in 6 days. I don't like Mendemouse. I think she should capture Minocene. Oh. Instead of Solemn? Oh. Minocene, no. I don't know. I guess we'll find out in 6 days what happens. Who knows? If only I could see the future. One of my main reasons that she won't capture is that Dot is basically confirmed to catch Tinkatuff, and they wouldn't do 2 capture episodes back to back. Well, my counterpoint to that is in the series that shall not be named, Ash caught Galarian Farfetch, and then the very next episode, Go caught Sobble. Then again, in the series that shall not be named, Go caught a Pokemon almost every episode for a minute there. So yeah, though those captures weren't exactly memorable, but there were 2 back-to-back episodes where we had memorable captures. So yeah, there's that. The Pokemon Bianca had in Best Wishes, that or some. Okay. I'm like dying over here. Oh my gosh. Okay, everyone. It is noon now. We've been going on for an hour. I have only a little bit more time left. What? That's weird. Okay, anyways, I got a little bit more time left, not a whole lot of time left, so if there's any more thoughts you have, put them in the comment section, and then I have to go here shortly, as I have somewhere I need to be, so go ahead and leave some commentary or in a chat, and then I'll get to it, and then we'll wrap up the stream. Some is actually not impossible, as we didn't get much Gen 8 representation in Journeys. I mean, sure, but the thing about it is, for what reason would we go back to Galar? Unless one of the heroes is somehow in Galar still, or if we have to go back and pick up Diane for some reason. She's off on her own journey too, so. So my question to that would be, like, what reason would we be going back to Galar at this point? I feel like the Galar portion of the story is kind of concluded, until we probably go back very later on when Diane becomes relevant again in the story. If she becomes relevant again in the story. I feel like our next destination is going to be Sinnoh after Paldea. So far we've been in Galar, we've been in Kanto for a little bit, and then Paldea and Galar, so. My guess anyway got to go. Okay, that's fine. Thanks for joining, Proper Pikachu. Hope you have a great rest of the day or night wherever you're at, and I'll talk to you later. See ya. Okay, guys. I do have to get going here. If you want to put some final thoughts in the chat, go right ahead, and then we're going to wrap things up here. Anything else? If not, I'll give it like one more minute. And then we'll probably wrap things up. All right, nope. See, hi. All right. See you later, Thomas. Thank you for joining again. We will talk again soon. Happy that I caught the stream. Yeah. Thank you once again for joining. Hope to see you again soon. Alrighty, I guess we'll wrap things up. Since seems like people have dropped off. So, it looks like 9, 10, 8, 7 tied. I gave the episode an 8, so I'd say we could settle on like a 8. Alrighty, guys. That's it for the stream. So, next week I will have a schedule for next week. I think going forward, if I'm only doing like 2 streams a week, I probably don't need a schedule. But if I have like more than 2 streams, I'll start doing schedules again. But we'll be doing Smash Bros on Monday, Genshin Impact on Wednesday, and then obviously the stream for Pokemon Horizons next Saturday, and I believe we'll be back at 12. So, yeah. Anyways, I got somewhere I need to be, unfortunately, so we got to cut things a little bit short here. So, if you're still in the chat and you're still here, thank you for joining me. Have a good day or night wherever you're at, guys. And I will see you in the next one.
Bye.